Welcome back to Relics of Hyrule, the series. This is episode 92, and I am going to take care of Rage, the Earth Tower, added in 6.5 and is now finally stable. So, let's take a gander. I need to eat food. Eat that clam meat. There we go. Now, Rage is in a mountain, and there's the banner. Says Earth, Rage, and it's the Quake Medallion symbol because I couldn't find a good symbol for Earth that didn't look like the fire symbol. So, that's why that's there. And Rage is actually pretty chunky. It's a... That's Rage. That's the entirety of Rage there. Really chunky. Chunk. There we go. Key of Winds, yes. You have to do Crisis first. Alright. So we're in Rage. Rage is... Well, it starts out as a mine. There's another Armos, and it's not laggy for some reason. The one in Crisis was laggy. You get a Scroll of Summon Gibdo, and the book Amaranth, and a Armos sword if you want it. And of course this is lyrics from the song by Nightwish of the same name, Amaranth. Baptized with a perfect name, the doubting one by heart, alone without himself. War between him and the day. Needs someone to blame. In the end, little he can do alone. You believe but what you see, you receive but what you give. Caress the one, the never fading, rain in your heart, the tears of snow-white sorrow. Caress the one, the hiding amaranth, in a land of daybreak. Apart from the wandering pack, in this brief flight of time, we reach for the ones who are there. Reaching, searching for something untouched. Hearing voices of never fading calling, caress the one, never fading, raining heart, tears no sorrow, caress the one in the hiding amaranth. Alright. And of course, those Amaranth was included, sort of referencing Ganon himself, and the idea of, you know, the never fading, some sort of an immortal entity, that is never changing and is always present. So a big bulk of Rage is, well, half of Rage is something that I've always wanted to add to Relics of Hyrule, and people have suggested to add to Relics of Hyrule, but I've never found a good place for it. And this is it. Get out of my face, Gibdo. And of course, Gibdos carry linen wrap and Gibdo dust, which is a really nice alchemy ingredient, depending on your opinion of alchemy ingredients. I mean, resist magic or resist poison is pretty good. There's also Tektites in Rage. Have you guessed what this area is yet? I mean, it's pretty obvious. I'm a hater. What you got? Gold Tektite Jelly. Gold Tektite Jelly. I don't think I've ever shown you this before, but I'm going to use this guy. And the next enemy I find is going to get quite a surprise, because Gold Tektite Jelly, in Twilight Princess, the gold Tektites, no, the gold, what were they? Gold Choo-Choos. The gold Choo-Choos, which, by the way, did I mention that Tektite Jelly is signifying a symbiotic, parasitic relationship of Choo-Choos with Tektites. So, gold Tektite Jelly, the Tektite Jelly, is really Chew Jelly. And I will be adding chews at some point. Probably 6.6, 6.7. Because I have a huge plan for them that's really cool. Anyway. Gold Tektite Jelly. Gold Chew Jelly in Twilight Princess was Lantern Oil. So this is fitting. God, oh, you resisted it? You son of a... That's what you get, you dumbass. Resisting, like, poisoned. Friggin' burn. Is it still poisoned? God, oh, it is still poisoned. Good. By the way, I really like that poisoned symbol right there. Maybe it's because I never see them, because I barely ever use poisons, but I really like the little green drop and that snake arrow. I really like those. Okay. Another quintessential feature of Rage is these guys. The Armos statues. That's pretty normal, right? That's not normal. You resist it too. Oh, they're fighting each other. They don't like each other. Can I use this at all? I don't think I can use... It's still poison. I'll leave it poisoned. Guys. Stop fighting. So... basically, 6.5 makes it so that you can't trust Armos anymore. Because you never know which Armos is going to appear and attack you, or rear up and attack you. Ooh, an Armos Warheads of Sapping. Nice. What about you? You just have an Armos mace. So, like, you might find somebody like this, and then you'll try to mine him, and then he explodies. Oh, there he goes. And he's dead. And they're actually wearing custom ebony armor that was retextured with the same texture as the Armos. So that worked out really well. Yeah, I really like the Armos aggressors, because I've lulled people into a sense of false security with the Armos. They're like, oh, the Armos aren't bad. They're not going to attack me. They're all passive. Not anymore. Some of them hate you. Okay. I need to be saving often. I'm not saving often enough. I'll save in the East Barrack. Oh, it's auto-saving. Never mind. Oi! Get out of my face. Get out of my face. Okay. That's a friend. He's, I'm gonna leave him alone. Okay. No, I can't leave him alone. No, I'll leave him alone. He's not gonna bother me. He just blew up. He doesn't even know I'm here. Hello! How are you? Oh, there you go. They do bleed as well. They're bleeding statues. Which I actually like. I like that they bleed. So I'm going to leave that. And, no. Weeping Armos? There's an idea. Don't know how I would implement that, but it's an idea. Okay, so we took care of the Armos. Let's pop up on over here. And we have to get to the other side. Because... Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, caught myself, good. Ooh, that is a boulder! Holy crap! That's a huge boulder. Wow. And there's what's left of a bridge. You can see the posts there. Any butter friends? Butter friends, yeah. So you can see the portcullis there. I undid some of it, but I cannot squeeze through these bars. I mean, logically you could, but I can't. Oh boy! Here's some more friends. Oh. Did that Tektite jelly, like, poison Mr. Armos? Oh! Listen, you. He did. And we have another ancient chest. We have some Tektites, first of all. The brown Tektites actually can carry any type of Tektite jelly. So the brown Tektites will be your favorite Tektites, because not only do they give you red Tektite jelly usually, but they have a slim chance of carrying something else. Okay, so this chest has everyone's favorite shield, a book. There's no book in there. There's no shield. Sorry, I meant the book. Okay, the last march of the Kokiri. Oh, let's learn that book. Learn that guy. Oh, Conjure Seeker. I will learn that. Oh, I didn't learn this. I could have sworn that I did, though. Never walk alone. Last march of the Kokiri. Last march of the Kokiri. Read that book. Okay. Be ashamed to die until you have scored some victory for humanity. That is a quote by Horace Mann. And this is a direct sequel to Silent Winds. Before venturing to Death Mountain, I sought to visit each surviving tribe of Hyrule, bear witness to their needs, and assure them that I would avenge their home. As I ventured toward Kokiri Forest, I saw the light of a few campfires on the edge of the Lost Woods. Through my telescope, I saw minions of the Dark Army felling trees and using the wood of Kokiri Forest to construct siege machines and weapons. I decided to set camp and wait until they dispersed. I thought I heard deep-toned groaning, creaking sounds from within the Lost Woods. The army did not disperse. After a few nights, a large camp was set up of bokoblins, moblins, and lizalfos, crafting weapons. I was unnerved by the sheer number of monsters and decided to slip away to report their position to the first Hylian army I could find. But then I saw trees farthest from the Dark Army shake. I hid myself and saw as a watched as a giant creature of wood and leaves emerged from the forest. It greatly resembled a tree, but with hands and arms and legs of wood. It was followed by smaller, person-sized creatures of the same appearance. Several Stalfos covered in moss emerged from the forest as well, each carrying a wooden shield engraved with a glowing red spiral. The throng of unusual creatures slowly approached the camp of minions, walking over the charred and ashen earth, the felled trees and rotting stumps. My heart sank as I feared the monsters sought to join the Dark Army, but soon the trees themselves began to move. Not swaying, but walking, their roots like tentacles. I aimed my telescope at the creature leading the march, and in its branches I saw a girl with green hair calmly perched. Her skin seemed to glow white in the moonlight, and yet she was almost impossible to see. The head creature approached the tent and stoically crushed it under its gnarled foot. It reached down and plucked a fleeing moblin, tossing it away. The smaller wooden creatures entered the camp and glowed as they enveloped bokoblins with blizzards of leaves. The moss-covered Stalfos clawed at lizalfos. The trees themselves impaled soldiers of the Dark Army with roots and branches. The creatures of the Lost Woods never slowed. They were a green inferno. Dang it, that's such a great phrase and I messed it up. They were a green inferno, a tide of thorns and roots. Their enemies attempted to fight back, but only managed to chip a piece or two from a tree before being crushed or maimed. Throughout the ordeal, the girl in green never flinched, never smiled, and never frowned. Her blue eyes were cold, even as her mount became stained with blood. I was overwhelmed with fear and crept away from the scene. As I turned from my camp, I was met by a Stalfos. I backed away. The Stalfos did not approach, but stared deep into my eyes with its empty sockets. The Stalfos turned and gestured to a tunnel in the underbrush. It moved its jaw as if to speak, but only unearthly hissing emerged. It then slowly rolled its head and walked past me, toward the skirmish. I hurried into the tunnel. I looked behind me to the Stalfos, but the entrance to the tunnel closed. I could still hear the helpless screams of moblins and the creaking groans of the trees. I ran through the tunnel as quickly as my feet would take me, with no care as to where it would take me. I need to rewrite some of this because there's some redundancies, but whatever. This is one of my favorite lore books, because it's modeled after one of my favorite moments in any movie ever, the last march of the Ents from Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. And I was inspired by that, because I'll watch that entire movie just to see the last march of the Ents. And this was inspired by that, and I think I really did a good job just drawing you in and explaining the scene. There are no like references. The girl with green hair is Saria, obviously. The word Green Inferno is from a movie titled The Green Inferno, but I felt like that phrase was wasted, so I used it. Tide of Thorns and Roots is one that I came up with. And that's pretty much it. There's references to Spriggans, mentions Lizalfos and Bokoblins. But other than that, this is a pretty standalone story, so to speak. And I like it. It's one of my faves. Okay. Nothing fancy in that chest, just the lore book. I need to go to that side of the room. So, let's bring ourselves down. I thought I heard a Tektite. I didn't. Oh, that's right, I have water walking. Let's take off the hover boots just to look under the water. Boop. I need to put some stuff away. There's not much down here. There's a rock. There's no like hidden things. There's a few more rocks for you. Yeah, there's not really anything down here. That's okay. Oh, by the way, it used to be that you could put on the hover boots while you were swimming, and as soon as you put them on, you would jump to the surface. I changed that because that is potentially game breaking, because you could do that inside a cave, like a tunnel, and it would blast you out of the cave, and then you would get stuck. So that's not cool. But instead you can put them on and then jump out of the water and stand on it like that, which is nice. There is a chest here. Oh no! It didn't have anything in it. It just had pain. Okay, let's get over here. These are a little hard to jump across. I may modify those in the future. Hey guys! Hi. Hi? I think that's the decapitation kill move, but it didn't do nothing. Dead. Not gonna bother that one. Alright, West Barrack. Come on. Why you don't care? You bitch. Alright. There's still some issues that need fixing. Like, they keep facing the wrong way. And, they just don't care that you exist. It is what it is. At least the ambush thing works. Like, they explode and they attack you. Or they explode and appear. It's only if you, like, activate them that they actually harm you. Whatever. Oh my, that's a crack. Alright, let's enter Malice, the boss arena of the Ruptured Towers. Rage, and of course, Malice is none other than Hyrule Castle. If you needed any more proof, there's the Triforce right there. You see it? You see it? Triforce. For a long time I wanted to put Hyrule Castle, even like the ruins of Hyrule Castle, in Relics of Hyrule. But I just didn't feel like there was any good place for it, and I didn't want to, you know, overburden the overworld. So I decided to, like, put it underground and tuck it away in a pocket. That makes sense. It's the, it's like Gallifrey. So it's tucked away, hidden in a Ruptured Tower called Rage, which is perfect, because Hyrule Castle is like a symbol of all the things. It does take a little bit of influence from Breath of the Wild, in that it's sort of been taken over, but instead of being taken over by evil magic, it's taken over by stone. And these are the Gibdo Knights. They are essentially Gibdos, but they carry weapons, and this friend, right here, is carrying a Gerudo Naginata, which implies that that's a Gerudo. A female Gibdo, wearing armor, essentially a Gerudo. And then this guy, he's carrying a Forgotten Sword. He has some Gibdo dust. He's a good guy. Whoop! Oh, now they attack me. Oh no, they're fighting each other. He has a shield. He has an Armos shield. That's pretty cool. It's kind of cool that they fight each other. I like that. I really like that, actually. It's like they're soldiers that were frozen in stone in the middle of battle, and then you come along and wake them up, and they're like, blah, 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 I hate you, blah, blah. Alright, well, I won't bother them. I'll bother this one, though. Thank you. Oh, stone. I don't care. Wait, did it say that that Armos halberd is stronger than the Fierce Deity sword? What? It is. Holy cribbity butts. How's that possible? Oh, it's because this is the lesser Fierce Deity sword. That makes sense. Okay. Hey guys. Sup? Oh, that one was weak. Oh, hello, hello. How you doing? You don't have a shield, but yours is enchanted. Ha! Throwing Armos. It'd be really funny if I suplexed one. Ooh, harvesting. It's an absorption enchantment. Do I have enchanting equipment? I think I do. No. Well, I'll keep it in place. Okay. Throne room! And the boss of Malice is a Breath of the Wild enemy. Sort of. It's inspired by a Breath of the Wild enemy. And you'll see who that is very soon. It's not Ganon. It's never Ganon. Alright, here he is. He's stone. He's a retextured Frost Atronach. How you doing, buddy? This is everyone's favorite Stone Talus. And Stone Talus resists, like, everything. But, let's see here. Ow. See if he does. Since when can you explode? So unenchanted weapons will actually do a little bit more damage on the Stone Talus. He resists magic, but he's not resistant. He resists normal weapons slightly less. Whereas only one piece of Armos stone? Wow, you cheap. The Breath of Vati resists most magic. Or no, it's the other way around. Resists standard weapons and doesn't resist magic. Final ancient chest for Rage. All things end. And we have the Shield of Antiquity from the Phantom Hourglass. So yoinkin'. Uh-oh, I'm out of room. Is there anything I can cram in here, like spoiled junk? Always good. Anything else I can put in here? I think... You know, I don't think it matters carrying this Armos sword around, so I'm going to put that one away. Good, okay. Oh! Forgot the lore book. All things end. Let's read it. It's like in the great stories... Oh, no, I can't do that. It's like in the great stories, the ones that really mattered. Full of darkness and danger they were. And sometimes you didn't want to know the end, because how could the end be happy? How could the world go back to the way it was before... how could the world go back to the way it was when so much bad had happened? But in the end, it's only a passing thing, this shadow. Even darkness must pass. A new day will come, and when the sun shines, it will shine out the clearer. Those were the stories that stayed with you, that meant something, even if you were too small to understand why. But I think I do understand. I know now. Folk in those stories had lots of chances of turning back, only they didn't. They kept going, because they were holding on to something. I stood at the base of Death Mountain in the ruins of Kokiri village. The volcano's cloud ring was no more, replaced with a black cloud of smoke and lightning and fire. I knew that within the cloud was the World Eater. I knew that there would be no return journey. I scaled the volcano wearing an old tattered Goron tunic, a Goron cap, and one of their circlets, as well as the fire shield earrings. I carried the mirror shield of my great sea, and the phantom sword. I carried my bow and a quiver of ice arrows. I carried the Wind Waker, the phantom hourglass, bombs, and a hammer. I was prepared. I passed through the deserted Goron city and saw it choked and scorched by cooled lava. The city echoed with the sound of silence. It was maddening compared to the roar of the mountain. I reached the peak of Death Mountain after hours of climbing treacherous terrain. I knew the World Eater expected me, but I had waited and rested before braving the depths of this dark maelstrom, drawing the phantom sword and mirror shield. Let's see if I can do my Alduin impression.
Hero of Winds, we meet at last. Ah, but you are much younger than I would have expected. This will be quick.
It's not a great Alduin, but it's the best I can do. I know my counterparts have faced you, dragon. I know they have failed.
What then makes you think you will succeed? Your world will die and fade away. Everything must come to dust. All things.
Yes, its time has come.
Why then? Then why do you resist, Hero of Winds? Why do you wish to fight me?
Hyrule deserves a better end than the one you will give it. We will not go gently into that good night. Hyrule must fall, and I will make you feel pain as it crumbles. I and all the heroes before me will make bitter your taste of this world. When all is snow and dust, you will remember that Hyrule clawed back as you made it bleed. The dragon laughed, and the cloud above rolled with thunder.
So be it. You are different, Hero of Winds. Very few of your Zema had such vision.
I come from a time after Hyrule fell. The golden goddesses intervened and washed Hyrule away to prevent a calamity at the hands of Ganon. By the way, the word calamity was used before I knew Breath of the Wild existed.
You expect the goddesses to save you now.
The world interrupted.
You are a fool.
I glared and looked deep into one of his great eyes. You are the fool, dragon. He growled and smoke puffed from his nostrils.
No more false gods. I am here now. This world is mine, Hero of Winds. I will see it burn. I will devour every living thing, and nothing will remain.
Then do it, I shouted, tears streaming down my face. Finish it, let it end, and take me first. The World Eater suddenly leapt from his perch and breathed fire upon me. I repelled it with the mirror shield. I swung the phantom sword, and shining beams cut through the smoke, exploding on his black skin. I pummeled him with beams as I drew the Wind Waker and cast the Wind God's aria. The smoke around me was pushed away in all directions by a gust of wind. The dragon took flight, knocking me to the ground. He vanished in the smoke, but returned and landed on me, pinning me to the ground with one of his great claws. The Wind Waker was thrown from my grasp, as was the phantom sword. With his other claw, the World Eater crushed and shattered the hilt of the phantom sword, leaving only the blade intact.
You will be the first,
he hissed, and began to draw an icy breath. I looked to the sky and saw a break in the smoke. I saw stars in the night sky, and the flow of time seemed to slow. Every night has a moon to guard it. Every star is a spot of light in the darkness. And after every night, the sun returns. There's some good in this world, and it's worth fighting for. Instead of cold, I felt warmth. I saw light.
Need,
I heard the World Eater say.
Need.
Okay, here we go.
He fen ni dein darlein no faldov,
Hylia. I know that word.
He muzla ni dain. Sufen ziv nin. Nust fen kostvik. Strumba quo.
Ko. There's no Q there. I saw him fly away fly away from me. Not with me. I saw him fly away from me as dark clouds began to circle overhead and lightning flashed from the clouds. The last sight I remember is a wave of shining light pushing the smoke away. I remember feeling calming warmth and hearing calming silence. I was at peace. And then I heard her voice. You have done well, Hero of Winds. Hyrule can rest. You have helped Hylia greatly. She is with Nehru now. The world can heal and be reborn. Alduin lives, but fear not. A new hero will emerge. Ours is not to worry, for the land is now in other hands. My sisters and I remain watchful. Fragments and shards of our kingdom still remain. Echoes ring through the earth, water, and air. Together we may begin our search for the Hero of Time. I miss him deeply. Have courage. You are with me. Okay. I do a better Hermaeus Mora than I do Alduin, I'll admit. So, the, dragon tongue up here, I will translate it. I'll put the translation under Then I Heard Her Voice. All of the dragon stuff is actual proper grammar. As far as I know. Hylia, of course, is Hylia. And Strunbach Quo is when he casts, he shouts Storm Call. So that's that. He's pretty much saying, screw you, Hylia, you're an asshole. I hate you. I've always hated you. You're not my real mom. That's not true. That was a joke.
You will be...
I can't do like a gravelly voice. I can't do a growling voice. I just can't. I don't have that register. So, and I did my best to make Alduin not sound like,
oh, you will be the first.
I could have made him sound like Robbie Rotten if I wanted to, but I didn't. Anyway, No more false gods, I am here now is, I think, a quote from X-Men Apocalypse of all things. Um, there's quotes in here. I'm just trying to find them. Obviously, this first quote is from Return of the King, the movie rather than the book. Mainly because the movie's quote is a little more concise, so I reference that. There would be no return journey is a reference to Return of the King, and I guess you could argue that setting this on a volcano is a reference to Return of the King, but there's a volcano and it's just a fitting layer for a dragon, you know, especially an egotistical dragon like Alduin. Fire Shield earrings are named. Goron City is referenced. The idea of Hyrule having to die is referenced again. We will not go gently into that good night. Reference to poem. I really like this quote. I will make you feel pain as it crumbles. I and all the heroes before me will make bitter your taste of this world. When all is snow and dust, you will remember that Hyrule clawed back as you made it bleed. That is all me. I came up with that myself, and I'm really happy with it. Referencing the backstory to Wind Waker. Again, reiterating that Alduin is... Not only does Alduin want to, like, destroy, but he wants to manipulate. So he's interrupting the Hero of Winds and, like, twisting his words to try to beat him. There's another lore book that we'll find when we go to the Sea of Ghosts with a ghost ship that is a similar encounter. So, Alduin has met with a hero, the Hero of Winds. He's met with Ganon, who's talked with Ganon. There's one more person he hasn't talked to yet, and we're going to find that eventually. It's exciting. It's really good. They're all good. Whenever Alduin is involved, it's great. Finish it. I think finish it could be a reference to Return of the King. Maybe. Probably not. It just sounds like something that Samwise Gamgee would shout when what's his name? Frodo. Yeah. What's his name? When Frodo's trying to drop the ring. Yeah, and there's good in this world and there's worth fighting for is, again, Return of the King. And her, obviously, is Faror. This is Faror talking here. And then, that's what I want. That's what I want, what I really, really want. So... when the Triforce is destroyed in this past thing, that's the lore. Okay, so all these meaningless items, the weird, like, little ones, there's some weird little items that make no sense why they would be around. Just some minor details, but I want to add a reference to what this wave of shining light and calming warmth actually is. You can interpret it a few different ways, that the Triforce is like cleansing Hyrule and everybody dies. You can also interpret it as a rapture, that everyone associated with Hyrule, or Hylia, all of the good people, all of the Hylians and Gerudo and Zoras and Gorons that are still alive are uplifted. They're brought into the sacred realm when Zelda wishes for the Triforce to be destroyed. And that's something that I want to add lore for, that the idea that the Triforce being destroyed didn't kill everybody, it was a rapture, so everybody was removed safely, and all of the evil remained. Which is why the monsters are still there. You know, the idea of why are there still Skulltulas if Hyrule was cleansed? So the idea is that it wasn't so much cleansed as much as all of the good people, rather all of the people who weren't evil and monsters were raptured. That's the idea that I'm going to add. So I'm going to take that book. And that is the end of the Ruptured Towers. We have one more episode that we're going to do in, this general area, but there's going to be more to it. It'll be, probably the episode is going to be reforming the Triforce, explaining the Triforce. Episode 93 is what I'm talking about. Episode 93, which is divisible by 3. Oh, hey, buddy. Oh, hi, Mark. Haha, what a funny story, Mark. That's a beheading. That's a beheading right there. But it doesn't really make it happen. That thing's gotten engulfed. I really like this. Everything's gotten engulfed by stone. It's a really nice visual. I was originally going to make this with Windhelm assets, but it didn't look right, so I just kept it with Dawnguard assets. And, there seems to be stuff missing from Hyrule Castle, and that's intentional. Like, it doesn't make that much sense. It's like, there's stuff missing. What's missing? There's probably a staircase right here that you can't see. And there's also, like, no way to get into those barracks. So, stuff is missing, and that's intentional. It's just like a earthy cancer sort of thing. Anyway, I got distracted. Episode 93 is divisible by 3. 31 times 3 is 93. So it's a fitting episode to reform the Triforce. And then after that, once I get the 2 wishes that I want for the Triforce, then we will set to work finding the 2 other moon pearls. We have Din's Pearl. We're going to find the other 2. And that will pretty much finish everything, every custom location in the mod, except the secret grottos. There's a few secret grottos that we haven't found yet, like Winterhold. So, moving forward, episode 93 is probably going to be Triforce and False God Passage, maybe Lost Sky Crater. Between episode 92 and 93, I will rework... Oh no, 93 and 94, rather. I will rework the character so that she has different equipment. Because I'm getting a little bored of having this ridiculous equipment she has. And then 94 will probably be Lost Sky Crater, and then starting the ghost ship. Visiting the islands, and then we'll collect a lot of stuff, and then we'll go back, do the secret grottos, do some more secret grottos, and then we'll probably just wander. There's still a lot of stuff that we haven't found. The magnetic gloves we haven't found. Haven't reformed the 4-sword as far as I know. There's a lot of stuff still left to do, and then even if I run out of stuff, I can always just go to Bruma or something. The series is going to keep going. It's going to keep going strong. It's not going to end anytime soon. Because, you know, the mod is continually growing. There's always new stuff being added. Like 6.6 will add more islands. It'll add the Hall of Memories, which will give us an even bigger point to look around and find things. So the future is strong. Episode 93 will sort of be the end of the story, but everything else past 93 will be an epilogue. So I'm not going to stop anytime soon. Anyway, thank you for watching. This has been Relics of Hyrule, the series. My name is Jay Calned. Thanks for supporting the mod. It's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying myself. Thank you.